We all want to have a successful retirement. So I've brought Michael from our team onto the channel today to share some insight on 6 tips to help with your retirement so that you have a successful retirement. Our team does retirement plans day in and day out, and we see many things that work and a lot of things that don't work. So we want to make sure we share those powerful tools so that you can have a successful retirement. So welcome Michael to the channel, who will share some insight into these tips.
All right, Michael, thanks so much for joining us on this video. So top tips for successful retirees and for our clients. As you build plans daily and weekly for our clients, you come across this stuff a lot. So thought it'd be good to bring you on and share some of your insight.
Appreciate that, Adam. Yeah, and it's been great meeting with a lot of your clients, and some of the same things keep coming up, and I see some tendencies. So again, when you mentioned about putting maybe a video together, let's just share a few, and some other people might get some great ideas from that. So I think the first one is like a budget, and really like sticking to the budget. So what we're seeing is that even people that have no children or have lots of money, there's always seems to be a budget behind the scenes. So some follow them religiously, others are, yeah, it's just, we go back to it every now and then, but the budget seems to be coming up quite frequently. And again, whether it's Excel or they're using Quicken or any of those other tools, even just yesterday, somebody complimented ours and like the tool that we have. So it just really helps keep people, I guess, online. And then it's also beneficial for us because, when we go and ask retirees or clients, what would you like to spend in retirement? They go, I don't know, or I have no idea. The budget helps, right? It gives us at least a starting point, and then we can massage it after that. And the other thing that it's nice is if we build out something separate, let's say for travel, well, travel may not always be there, but travel might turn to healthcare, right? So we might be spending 5,000 here, but maybe that just changes to something else down the road. So maybe we're not dropping their expenses as they get older. It's just shifting where that money goes. So
Yeah,
I would say
absolutely.
I would say the first one would be budget.
And we'll link our budget form below as well. So if you're looking for a good budget form, you can download that free of charge below in the description.
I think the second one is understanding risk and longevity. So I guess when we do our plans, but when I'm doing the plans, and sometimes we'll get clients with a little bit of pushback and say, well, I'm getting 8%, I'm getting 9% on my rates of return. We say, well, look, we're using 5% to kind of really, I don't want to say stress test, but to take a fairly conservative approach. So if you're making 7 or 8 now, that's great. So we're probably underperforming or showing, under appreciation of your assets now. But when you're getting over 75 and 80, you may not be making 5% on your money. So maybe we're overstating it. So that's where the 5% comes in handy. But the other thing that it does is if you can meet all of your goals at 5, and then we see that you've got all this excessive equity investments, like why would you need to take the extra risk, right? So it just maybe helps tone down that part of the overall portfolio, knowing that you can get there at a lower rate of return. And then, taking into consideration the interest rate risk as well. People know that maybe they can't just put all their money in a GIC forever. So they have to have some exposure to be able to bring out that spending, towards 85, 90, and 95.
Yeah, that's a conversation I think our team has a lot with clients too, is around the rate of return. And a lot of clients want to know, like, how much risk do I need to take? Like, what is the rate of return I have to achieve to meet my goal? And that's part of the planning process. It's, sometimes we get asked, you get asked often, like, why do we use 5%? And again, that can be changed, but it kind of does show a conservative, like, here's how much risk you have to take to kind of meet your goals.
And I think another thing, and again, you said it in a few of your videos, but a lot of our clients are just looking for value. Some of them don't mind, like they don't know investments. They know they can't just buy a GIC, so they have to trust somebody. So they go to the bank or they go to a brokerage, and they don't mind if they have to pay their 1.75 or their 2%, but they want to get something in return. And a lot of them have said, why am I not getting a financial plan if they're making $10,000 a year off me or $5,000 a year off of me? And I would say the same thing. I don't know why you're not getting that, because every institution has it. They've all have software. Pretty much anybody that's handling your money should be able to put a plan together for you. So,
Yeah.
it does lend credence to why people use services like ours because they're just not getting the, to me, that's essential. It's not a value. It's an essential part of the plan.
Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of these, banks, financial institution, brokerages that will put a plan together, what I hear all the time during the strategy calls with prospective clients is, yeah, I had them do a plan, but they don't do anything like we do, right? Like there's no tax planning. They're telling me to take my CPP at 60. They're telling me like it's kind of backwards from what you recommend. So it's a second opinion, or let's actually get a professional plan. So that's the other thing too, is you may get a plan, but like how qualified is that person to actually put the plan together, and how often do they do it?
One other item I think here is that's been coming up is, so it's funny when people say, well, or when I ask, when do you want to retire? And somebody might say, well, what time is it? Like, an hour ago, right? Depends on the day. But a lot of them have said, look, I love what I do. I just don't love where I do it. I don't love the pressure that comes with it. So a lot of them want to do something when they retire, and whether it's work or volunteering, they all want to still contribute something to their community and provide some value. So I think that's really a key to it. I know that's in books and I know that's in other videos as well, but it is true. Like people having a purpose after they leave their job is really important. So whether that's community or whether it's self, maybe starting a small little business to do something they've always wanted to do, make cupcakes, I don't know, right? But having something
now
to
we know
do,
what you're
right?
going to do. Yeah.
Mine might be gelato. I think that's what we're leaning more towards
There.
the gelato side. Yeah.
There you go.
And then lastly, the big one here that comes up once in a while is it's okay to ask for help. Like it's okay for people to reach out for services like ours. Most of us that are in professions or jobs have had the ability to have a mentor or work with somebody that's helped show us the ropes and got us to where we are, and whether it was through study or just watching. So again, I think that's a big one for people, is when a lot of our clients have been saving for 30 or 35 years and they've been diligent and they put that money away, and now all of a sudden we're saying, now you got to spend it, right? Now you have to flick that switch and you now have to spend it. And that's a really different mentality and an emotional response than people that we know that get pensions, right? If you're getting a police pension or a hospital pension or a teacher's pension, the mentality is just different from having to wonder what the markets are doing on a monthly basis or a daily basis. And now we're starting to trigger that income. So again, I would say it's okay to ask for help, right? Like that's why we're here, and why we're professionals at what we do. So I think those are probably the big tips I would say that I've seen.
Yep, that makes sense. I'm going to add two more on there.
Awesome.
My first one ties into what you just talked about, in that a lot of retirees are going through the same struggles and have the same questions. So talk to people around you. Like I'm part of a business group. It's people that run small businesses like myself, and we talk every single week. So every Thursday morning, I have a call with them, and so it's a like-minded group. And I encourage you, if you're getting close to retirement or into retirement, to talk to other retirees. Like, what have you been through? What are you going through? And again, it piggybacks off what you're just saying there, Michael, and that, typically your challenges have been lived by millions of others, right? And they've maybe gone through it and they figured out how to get through it. So have that conversation with them. The second tip that I see a lot of successful retirees, as their clients kind of move through retirement, the ones that have great success, understand their cash flow. So that's the value of having a plan, is how much cash flow, where does it come from? Like, where's my income? How am I putting food on the table? And if you understand where it's coming from, and then you prepare your portfolio for that cash flow need, it takes a lot of stress off. And, even if the market drops, it's okay. Yeah, I've got my money aside for the next 2 or 3 years. It really does alleviate the watching the stock market every day or stressing about your investments, or where, we can't do that trip anymore. Like, that's kind of taken away for the clients that follow their cash flow plan properly. So we see the value daily. Michael, I know like all you do for our team is build and deliver retirement plans. So you're talking to different Canadians on a daily basis, and you see the benefit of like, okay, I can retire tomorrow night. I will have enough. And okay, here's how I know how to pay less tax. Like, there's a benefit of having a proper plan in place. And, I get comments all the time on our videos of saying, people say, oh yeah, of course you're going to recommend getting a plan. Like, that's your job. And it's true, but we also see the other side of it where people walk away from the process in a totally different state of mind, and the relaxation, like the stress level just comes way down. And so, yes, we can sit here as financial planners saying, you need a financial plan or a retirement plan, whether it's with us or someone else. I mean, we'd love to help you, but at the end of the day, we also see the other side of it. And that's a huge value. So we want you to have success. And we truly believe having success in your retirement is to have a proper plan. You need that roadmap going forward. Michael, thank you so much for joining us in this video. We'll get you back on here pretty soon. And wish you all a successful retirement. Again, if you need help with planning, reach out to our office. You can learn more at parallelwealth.com/planning. So thanks again, Michael. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, Adam.